This is the Work Smart Hypnosis Podcast, session number 388, coming soon. And hey, stick around right now because this is a slightly different episode this week as we have several moving pieces in the works right now. And I thought rather than putting out a replay episode, rather than putting out a classic, or what did we call it before, an encore, let me kind of take just like 7 or 8 minutes here and tell you what's up. Behind the scenes, we have version 3.0 of the Work Smart Hypnosis website coming to you all very soon. In the words of the guy from the Jurassic Park movie, we spared no expense. And really, I'm seeing some drafts behind the scenes, and the catch is, website redesigns are a thing that are a bit of a necessary evil in the shape of your business. And thankfully, for the majority of you, you might have a website that only has a couple of pages on it. You've got a home page. Maybe you've got your page for your velvet rope strategy, which I teach. Maybe you've got some individual service pages, which is something I recommend. And, worst case scenario, you might have like 6 or 7 or 8 pages to have to address. When you do like 375 plus podcasts and then have various membership programs and massive digital libraries, it's a bit of an undertaking. And we're actually, surprisingly, ahead of schedule on a couple of components. But here's what's coming down the pipeline. We've got a new blog feature that's going to be on the worksmarthypnosis.com website. We are publishing, as has been requested by many of you over the years, full transcriptions of every Work Smart Hypnosis episode, which right there, we hired the right people to do that part. So I share this not to say, hey, here's a quick episode this week as a space filler, but to talk instead about what's coming your way and recognize that I think one of the greater lessons that many of you could benefit from is that even when something is going well, there's also the opportunity to then improve upon it and make something better. So you don't have to wait for things to break. Then again, we did wait for the jasonlinett.com website to break and create all sorts of other decisions around that project, which is over there on the other side of my world. I run 2 different businesses. One is the Work Smart Hypnosis Company, which never was planned to be the sole source of my clients. Surprisingly to this day, that's where I'd get the general public who would find this program and, hey there, muggles, welcome. And it'd be the, hey, I found that. It was interesting. I'm not the audience, am I? Can you help me with my fill in the blank? And that's part of the story why after a dozen years, we shut down the Virginia hypnosis business and moved 1,000 miles away because something else suddenly became the sole source of where my clients would find me. Also, there's a whole other business consulting and training that I do, which is something that the hypnotic community can fit inside of, but it's something that draws a bit wider of an audience. As an example, last week we had onboarding meetings over on the influence side of our world, specifically with someone who runs a furniture store, someone who teaches affiliate marketing, and a lawyer, and someone who does real estate investing, and then like 2 hypnotists. So it draws in a bit of an other, which is kind of the point of this quick episode, just to call out that as you keep your ears open, as you keep your eyes open, you suddenly realize things have morphed in an entirely different direction. So actually, some of you may remember we put out the Hypnotic Language Hacks podcast, which officially does not exist anymore. Well, it actually does still exist, but in the coming week or 2, you're going to see a bit of an announcement over there that if you're still subscribed to that one, stay subscribed. Just suddenly you're going to see a welcome for the Attract Pre-Sold Clients with Jason Linett podcast. And behind the scenes, takes a village. There's a different team who is building out the website, though. If you're curious what that's about, head over to attractpresoldclients.com. So this quick little 6 or 7 minute episode here, just with me popping on to say, what's up, is not just to say, hey, check me out, here's what we're up to, though look at where you are right now and embrace the fact that even as things are going well, there's always the opportunity for renovations, for improvements. You don't have to play the game of wait till something's broken to then repair it. Then again, there is something hideously broken on the jasonlinett.com website. and we're just about to scrap that sucker and put something else in its place. Having some real issues right now with the technologies that was based upon, and then again, perfect timing, we realized the audience changed the branding of what that project was all about, which is why we spun it off as its own separate and distinct business, the way that we are all separate and distinct hypnotists, and helping to build that world all together. So I'm recording this right now on Monday morning, October 24th. And if there's one positive phrase I can share with many of you, it's something I shared with someone I had a chat with just this past week. Her name is Marie. She's out of Maryland. And it's the reminder that when you invent the deadlines, you get to move the deadlines. When you invent the goalposts, you get to move the goalposts. So what would happen differently in your world if you took a step back right now and just asked yourself, what if I was exactly where I ought to be right now? What would also happen differently if you stepped into a new belief system that overwhelm was a choice, and instead, all it took was one step at a time, and the pace at which you do something is the pace at which it actually happens? I say this as I'm actually on an airplane to the West Coast on Wednesday this week and flying back early Sunday morning. And hey, in case we didn't have enough going on, I'm writing a new book while I fly there and fly back. Yeah, let's throw something else in there. So thanks for listening to this quick episode number 388 coming soon. And what I'd recommend as a simple place to follow what's up, head over to worksmarthypnosis.com/Facebook. If you go to that, it's going to give you the actual business page for Work Smart Hypnosis. Or if you go to worksmarthypnosis.com/Facebook Jason, specifically that one, I'd say, what that'll do is bring you over to my personal Facebook profile. And send over a friend request if you haven't yet done so. Now, I do dance dangerously at that 5,000 friend limit, so if I don't accept it, it's not that we're taking anything personally or judging you or talking about you behind your back, but even by sending a friend request, it puts me into your feed, and you can follow and see what's going on in the weeks coming up. I share this next statement without any bit of bragging or boasting. This is the strongest year in business we've ever had. This is the year where we helped my parents to retire and travel down from Virginia, then to North Carolina, and then they just closed on a house about 20 minutes down the road from us here in Florida. And even as things are as busy as they are, our daughter's legitimately a genius and going to this gifted school about a half an hour away. Some of you have seen me do videos from the co-working space sometimes. Even as things are at their best, that is the opportunity to put a whole new fresh coat of paint on something and make it even better. Because when you go inside and ask yourself why you do what you do, you find the inspiration to break through whatever overwhelm or doubt may have been there up until now. So I like to say, in full reference and credit to the comedy actor Will Ferrell, who one time used the term strategery, if you follow carefully what we're often up to, it's a balance between extreme strategery and, hey, watch this. Follow along. Head over to worksmarthypnosis.com/Facebook Jason and send a friend request. Hit follow because, hey, we got some awesome stuff coming your way. Thanks for listening. Get out there. Make someone's day. Make something incredible happen. Talk in a bit.